All right, so let's discuss the if function. Now, essentially how the if function works is it has three parts. Okay, you have a test, and then what you want to happen if that test is true, and what you want to happen if that test is false. And that essentially are the three pieces of the if function. I'm going to take you through them now. So in this situation that we have here, what I would like to do is I would like to say if the quantity is greater than or equal to 1,000, I want to give them a 10% discount. If it's not greater than or equal to 1,000, I don't want to give them any discount. So relatively straightforward test, as well as a relatively straightforward value of true or value of false. So here's how we put this into a cell. Of course, I'm going to start with an equals, and I'm going to type if. Learning how to type out the if function rather than using the insert function dialog box is very useful when we start talking about nested ifs, and we have a video for that. It's actually the next video. So if you learn how to type this one out, it's going to help you in the long run. So here we go. I've typed equals if, open bracket, pops up my first piece, which is the logical test. So what test do I want to do? Well, I want to check if this quantity value is greater than or equal to 1,000. So the test would look like this. If B2 is greater than or equal to 1,000. And then I separate my test, or I tell it I'm done doing my logical test by a comma. So when I put in a comma, it moves over and now highlights the value if true section. Now I want to talk about this test still for a minute. I've used greater than or equal to. Keep in mind you could use just equal to, you could use less than or equal to, just greater than, just less than, and not equal to is indicated by those two symbols put back to back there. Okay? In my case, I'm going to do greater than or equal to. One other note about that logical test is I'm doing a comparison on a number. If you are comparing something to a text value, make sure you put that in between double quotations. So after the comma, here's where I'm going to put the value if true. So if B2 is greater than or equal to 1,000, meaning they ordered more than 1,000, I'm going to give them a 10% discount. So I'm going to type in 10%. That's what I want to happen if that test evaluates to true. Then I'm going to do another comma, and then it says value if false. So what do I want to happen if that statement is not true? So if they ordered less than 1,000, I don't want to give them anything. I'm going to give them a 0% discount. Now, we could have left that out. We could have omitted that part. I just like to be thorough about this, so I did put in 0 and then the percent symbol. And then I'm going to close the bracket and hit enter. You'll notice this one has evaluated to 0. If I fill it down, assuming it's going to move the quantity down, which of course it would, it's going to check. So here we go. I'm going to fill that formula down. There it has given 10% discount. There's 0, there's 0, there's 10% again. And that's related to these quantities. Now, if any of these were to change, so as soon as I change this to over 1,000, I want you to watch that formula, the if formula we put in there. And of course, it's evaluated out to 0.1, which is the equivalent of 10%. Keep in mind, that's just a little formatting adjustment we can make, and look at our formatting videos for more information on that. But there you have it. That is how you set up and utilize a basic if formula.